Join me as I dive into the top 5 communication mistakes that could be wrecking your relationships, and let's see if I can fix them all in just 1 week. Effective communication is the foundation of any healthy relationship. It's the key to building trust, resolving conflicts, and fostering a deeper connection with your partner. But despite its importance, many of us take communication for granted, and that's when the mistakes start to creep in. Today, we're going to explore the common pitfalls that can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and even relationship breakdowns. When it comes to communication in relationships, couples often face a range of challenges. Misinterpretations can lead to feelings of frustration and resentment. Lack of active listening can make your partner feel unheard and invalidated. And avoidance of difficult conversations can create a sense of disconnection and unresolved issues. These communication barriers can be incredibly damaging, and if left unaddressed, can slowly erode the foundation of your relationship. In fact, research suggests that poor communication can be a major predictor of relationship dissatisfaction and even divorce. The consequences of poor communication can be far-reaching, affecting not just your romantic relationships, but also your friendships, family dynamics, and even your professional relationships. That's why it's essential to identify the specific mistakes that might be holding you back and work on developing healthier communication habits. In this video, we'll delve into the top 5 communication mistakes that could be ruining your relationships, and I'll share some practical strategies to help you overcome them. So, let's get started with mistake number 1. Assuming you know what your partner is thinking. This might seem harmless, but it can lead to some serious miscommunications. When we assume we know what our partner is thinking, we stop listening to their needs and desires, and we start projecting our own expectations onto them. This can create a sense of disconnection and frustration, and it's a recipe for conflict. For example, let's say your partner has been feeling overwhelmed with work, and you assume they don't want to go out for dinner tonight. But in reality, they were really looking forward to some quality time together. By assuming you know what they're thinking, you've inadvertently dismissed their needs and created a misunderstanding. The second mistake is not expressing yourself clearly. When we're not clear about our needs and desires, we can create a sense of confusion and uncertainty in our relationships. This can lead to feelings of resentment and frustration, as our partner tries to guess what we want without ever really getting it right. For instance, let's say you're feeling upset about a conversation you had with your partner earlier in the day. Instead of expressing your feelings and concerns, you give them the silent treatment, expecting them to somehow magically know what's wrong. By not expressing yourself clearly, you're creating a sense of distance and disconnection in your relationship. Mistake number 3 is not active listening. When we're not fully present in our conversations, we can miss important cues and nuances that are essential to effective communication. This can lead to misunderstandings, miscommunications, and even conflict. For example, let's say your partner is talking to you about their day, but you're distracted by your phone or the TV in the background. You're not fully present in the conversation, and you're missing the opportunity to connect with your partner on a deeper level. By not active listening, you're creating a sense of disconnection and invalidation. The fourth mistake is avoiding difficult conversations. When we avoid talking about the tough stuff, we can create a sense of unresolved issues and unspoken tensions in our relationships. This can lead to feelings of resentment and frustration as our partner tries to navigate the elephant in the room. For instance, let's say you're having some issues with your partner's spending habits, but you're too afraid to bring it up because you don't want to start a fight. By avoiding the conversation, you're creating a sense of uncertainty and unresolved tension in your relationship. The fifth and final mistake is not apologizing when you're wrong. When we're unwilling to admit our mistakes and apologize, we can create a sense of injustice and resentment in our relationships. This can lead to feelings of anger and frustration as our partner feels unheard and invalidated. For example, let's say you forgot to pick up your partner from the airport, and instead of apologizing and making amends, you become defensive and dismissive. By not apologizing when you're wrong, you're creating a sense of disconnection and mistrust in your relationship. So, what's the most critical insight or surprising fact related to overcoming these communication mistakes? In my experience, it's the importance of self-awareness. When we're self-aware, we can identify our own communication patterns and biases, and we can work on developing healthier habits. We can become more mindful of our assumptions, more expressive of our needs, and more present in our conversations. We can even develop a growth mindset, recognizing that effective communication is a skill that takes time and effort to develop. By recognizing these 5 communication mistakes and working to overcome them, you can start building stronger, more resilient relationships. Remember, effective communication is a skill that takes time and effort to develop, but it's worth it in the end. By being more aware of your communication patterns and biases, you can create a sense of connection, trust, and understanding with your partner. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share your experiences with communication in relationships in the comments below. If you want to learn more about improving your relationship skills, check out my video on how to build a stronger connection with your partner.